starting up the only show on Indian television that dedicates itself to the startup community. Well, this week we're going to bring to you the 10th startup that makes it to the final 10 on our Super Angel series. That and a lot more coming your way in the next half hour. On the show today, we head to Bangalore for the Startup Showdown at the Nasscom product Conclave. On Trend Wheel, we explore the new trend of tech-enabled healthcare startups. And finally, on Starting Up News Wheel, the latest buzz from India and across the globe. With over 1,500 delegates and speakers like Vinod Khosla, Vivek Paul and Naveen Jain, the Nasscom Product Conclave, without a doubt, was one of the most high-profile technology summits we've seen in a while. In fact, we had our very own Starting Up Showdown there to help us find the 10th finalists for our Super Angel series. So these gets you the lowdown from Bangalore.
The Nasscom Product Conclave, one of India's biggest technology events, kicked off with much fanfare in Bangalore with as many as 1,500 technologists and entrepreneurs attending over the 2 days. Setting the tone for the event was Silicon Valley legend Vinod Khosla, who took us through the sectors and startups that still keep him excited after over 25 years as a venture capitalist.
I think what goes wrong is people don't know why they're starting their company. Doing product promotion is an area that less startups have not done.
Next up was columnist and academician Vivek Wadhwa, who took us through the various opportunities he saw for Indian entrepreneurs.
The India tablet, the $25 tablet that comes simple enough, and to see the lot of diversity, especially in the Indian capital market. It's a very powerful device.
The other highlight was the Nasscom Emerge demo area, where the 50 startups selected for the Nasscom Emerge Awards showcased their products. All these events leading to the Starting Up Showdown Grand Finale with 3 startups pitching for that elusive spot in the next round of Super Angels.
Hello and welcome to the Starting Up Startup Showdown here at the Nasscom Product Conclave. I'm very happy to firstly have a fantastic audience here, and I also have a fantastic panel of judges. Firstly, Shail Israel, author and startup coach and mentor who's coming all the way from the US for this. And of course, Rajesh Swami, entrepreneur, investor and guide, CEO of MCheck, and now of course with Angel Prime. So without further ado, I'd like to invite the first startup onto stage, Kabooter.
So the idea is super simple. We want to answer the question, what's happening right now. So you have your iPhone, your Android phone, your BlackBerry, whatever it is. You take a photo. This was taken at the Metallica concert about a week ago. You post it up on our website, and people get to vote up and down and comment on it. It's that simple. The idea is, assuming many people take lots of photos, you get a chance to see what's happening around the world. We've got an iPhone app and a website where you can do this. We'll be launching BlackBerry and Android really, really soon. The idea is you can see what's popular, the most recent photos. If you tap on a photo, it should load up, a more detailed version. You can see comments, votes, so on and so forth. So the idea behind it is we wanted to do something big, audacious, and ambitious. And the way that we look at it is we'd like to be a part of the infrastructure of the web. If Facebook does social, if Twitter does broadcast, Google does search, Kabooter would like to be what's happening right now.
You didn't mention anything about your business model, so what are your thoughts on making money out of Kabooter?
So that's really something we will look at when we have a massive amount of scale. There are the usual options of advertising, perhaps licensing the content, a whole bunch of other things, but right now we're really sorely focused on building the product and building our consumer base.
I guess my question to you is, what is the longer term social impact you think coming out of a product like this?
I think social impact and business model will be tied together in the future. Like, think about this for a moment. If you have someone taking photos live from an invasion of Palestine or some major fight versus also here's my cat doing something really funny. If we have the kind of impact that cuts across all genres, there's a damn good chance we can do something interesting with it monetarily.
Tarun, how would you compare this to some of the other players in the US which are also getting traction, Color and Instagram?
So in terms of those two companies, they're trying something fairly different. They're more after photo sharing and making your photos look nice. We're really about what's happening in the real world. If I look around the internet today, There's not a single place where I can say what's happening right now. I can
You
tell
get on
you
Twitter, right? What's happening right now?
Sure, but you get a hashtag with 10,000 tweets on it. There's no way to tell what's a good tweet and what's a bad tweet.
How easy do you think it is for a startup to build a community here as opposed to US? Because a lot of Facebook's initial users were because of the startup being situated in Stanford or being situated in the valley itself.
Honestly, it's no longer that much of a challenge. When we tried the beta out for Kabuta when it started, all I did was change my Facebook status. And we had about 600 or 700 people visit the website in the next 3 or 4 hours. I think that market is out there. It's just that we're not chasing it hard enough.
What are you planning to do to chase it hard enough, as you put it?
So one is we'd love to be able to leverage on the power of Facebook and Twitter, but we'd like to do it in a reasonably one-way focused thing. So while you can share to Twitter and share to Facebook, all the engagement in terms of comments and that sort of thing would be on our side.
If you bring in the conversation there, does this start looking more like a social community as opposed to a photo sharing popularity contest?
Strong focus on the community.
I go back to my original comment then. Wow, cool.
So what are your thoughts on the product and the business plan? Sanjay, what do you think they should be looking at focusing on over the next 6 months or so?
Yeah, so the product looks interesting. I think a lot of this is about the user experience and taking the friction out of it, and they seem to have done a good job so far. I think the fact is there is no business model, and there's a very high risk business from that perspective.
Yeah, how much are you looking to raise to scale this venture?
Right now we're looking to raise about 50 lakhs or so.
Fantastic. It's time for the scores.
With scores of 10 and 7, Kabutar scores a total of 17 points out of 20. The next startup on stage, Bharat Berry.
The problem which I'm going to solve is the email is the number one application which we all know being used worldwide over internet and mobile. And we all know that the only costly handsets which can be afforded by, not by the masses can afford the push mail capability. What we have cracked is with the 11 years of experience in developing email solutions, we have cracked the code and came out a solution so that 1500 rupees handset can support a push mail. This is named as Bharat Berry. This is the answer, which is Indian answer to the push mail technology. 10 months old, the startup has no revenues, but we are able to strike the agreement with MTNL, Delhi and Bombay. We are going ahead and sign an agreement with BSNL for 70 million customers going live on 14th of this month. This is the interface which is there, just like any other email. The only difference is the application is there which will be allowing the mobile to receive the email instead of doing a push mail. So the interface is pretty much simple the way it is there. So you can reply, forward, tag, untag. This is the solution which we offer. 50 rupees a month.
Sanjay, Bharat Berry, are you subscribing?
I think you were going to talk about the business model. I'd like to understand that a little better.
What's the pricing model?
50 rupees a month?
Actually, Bharat Berry has two applications. One is for push mail, one is for CIM sync, where contacts, calendar, tasks and notes get synchronized with your email. And you can use any email system for that. 50 rupees for each, 80 rupees a combo. And we have a revenue sharing arrangement with the telco.
The big concern, of course, is the proliferation of smartphones, and at least in the base of users that would be keen to check their email on the go. So that's the question I have for you, really. Where do you see this market from a market size perspective? Is it an ice cube in the sun, or do you still see a big opportunity here?
When we launched in MTNL Bombay, they have around 3,000 customers of the competition. In 1 month, we had 20,000 customers. So there is a market available who is not going for a costly handset, who is not going for a costly rental, but they are looking for a push mail capability at a low rental. Instead of a BlackBerry, Bharat Berry.
Perfect.
I have a general feeling to avoid all things called carriers. Airlines, typhoid, certainly cell phones. From the way I understand it, you'll also be depending upon them to get the word out for distribution. And once you get into the marriage with these carriers, I'm not so sure how you get out of it easily.
I believe in marriage.
It sounds like you plan to have many wives.
Exactly.
From the serious note of it, they love me because I'm not asking any penny from them, and I'm increasing revenue for them. So they are what I'm bringing on the table is the revenue only. So So you don't like to lose a partner who just brings the revenue at no liability.
Ajay, what are your thoughts on scaling up? How much funds are you looking to raise, and where do you want to take BharatBerry?
Till now we have built it our own, and we intend to take it. We want to speed our reach to the global world. So we are looking for around 2 million. This money is required to create a solid, strong, representative marketing team.
So here the score. Hold your breath.
You better go higher.
With scores of 8 and 9 points from the two judges, BharatBerry scores 17 points out of 20 and ties with Kabutar. The final startup on stage, iDoopal.
What we have built here is a technology that can convert any surface into interactive space. And we have done all this with a piece of glass and a few sensors. It's not a touch screen. The market that, as I said, would be one is play school, one is restaurant, coffee chain, right? We have partnered with a few companies, Mumbai, Pune, and we are installing a few tables up here, and we are converting walls in play schools into interactive space where people can draw and paint and do stuff like that. And as of now, the model is you have to pay the money, we'll build it and we'll install it. But we are actually working on a different model together where we will rent out the instruments, the infrastructure to a play school or a restaurant, and we will charge you per month certain amount of money.
Take us through your go-to-market strategy. What are the two markets you're looking at, and how do you plan to reach out to these two markets?
One is restaurant and coffee chain.
Sure.
We're already partnered up with a few companies, in fact, to install it inside their interiors. We're converting their walls into painting areas. We're converting the tables into an interactive space where they can play games.
Start to Shell, what are your thoughts on that?
I keep ending up with these two words, but wow, cool. That is a beautiful product you have there.
Didn't fully understand the technology from the video. Would like to know a little bit more. Is there a device? Is there an operating system? How does it interface to the table or to the some sort of a computer? Is that all in the cloud, or is it just this device? Would like to know more.
What we have built is an operating system. You can actually call it an operating system on top of Linux stack, right? And on top of that, we have a few drivers to interact with multiple users, multiple fingers and everything, the driver part of it. And then there is no file system. We are actually serving everything in the cloud. And the web engine, actually, that renders everything. What happens here, I showed you an example where, just painting something, right? What happens there is, it's a web engine out there. Whatever the user is doing, like movement of the brush or, the speed and everything, is actually measured by sensors and sent to the cloud.
And the device has Wi-Fi built in?
Wi-Fi and Ethernet both.
What are the use cases inside restaurants or something like that?
You can actually place an order directly from the table.
Sure.
Something, right? You can play games.
Okay.
Or if you want to check mail, you can check mail. We have over 200 applications in the App Store.
Can you tell us a little bit about the team and how long this has been in development and where is it being manufactured?
The core team has 4 members, right? They are into user interfaces, they are into Linux, basically, right? Core technical, right? And the manufacturing part, the table structure, the heat part of it, we are manufacturing in India. Right. The chipset is manufactured in China. Right. And the sensors and assembly is happening in China.
Do you have patents protecting some of this?
Yes, we have actually. We can't have patents for software, but we have patents for software hardware combinations.
And secondly, it's licensing, so it's hard to say, but can you tell me a little about your pricing strategy?
Well, as of today, we are actually taking money from the customer, we're building it and installing it for the customer. But in the future, we would want to have a system, right, which can be rendered out to the users.
I think rental is really good. It reminds me of the days of Pac-Man in bars. Nolan Bushnell said what he created was an addiction to putting quarters in slots, and he made a great deal of money that way. I think what you have is very addictive there.
And how much do you see the rentals coming down to? You mentioned 25,000 rupees prices.
Per month it would be like 2,000, 3,000.
How much are you looking to raise, Chirag?
About $1 million.
$1 million. Gentlemen, it's time to dig into your scorecards again. And she's all ready and set. Fantastic. Here's the score. The other
With a perfect score of 20 on 20, iDoopal goes on to win the Nasscom Showdown. They now win a wildcard entry into the next phase of Super Angels. The audience vote goes to Bharat Berry, with them getting 58% of the vote. Both the winners receive gift vouchers from tech e-commerce portal nextbuy.com. We wish them the very best.
Well, congratulations to the iDuple team. We wish them all the best for our Super Angel series. Alright, let's take a break here on the show, but coming up, we bring you the various tech-enabled healthcare platforms in the country.